Hello guys, my name is, and today I am going to be ranking all 32 goalie tandems in the NHL. So I don't want to waste your time, let's just get straight into the rankings. In number 32, I have the Arizona Coyotes. Arizona took Buffalo's backup goaltender and was like, yes, we should make that goalie our starter. So they did. Their starting goaltender on cap friendly is Carter Hutton, and their backup is Corridon, who they acquired in a trade when giving up Aiden Hill, which actually was probably a good trade for Arizona. They got a second. But this goalie tandem is just not good. Hutton is old, and he is just not a good starter, and he might not even be that good of a backup. And Corridon is still pretty young. I don't know if he's ready for that yet. But we'll see. The offseason's not over yet. I mean, Arizona's not winning this season, and I don't think they care that much about that because they're just taking all these bad contracts, and they don't have good goalies. So I don't think they don't expect to win at all or anything. So, yeah. At number 31, I have the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo, after losing both Ullmark and Hutton, got Arundel and Craig Anderson. Arundel played in New Jersey last year. He didn't play much, but in the games he did play, he looked absolutely terrible. He looked so bad. It was pretty good, not how bad he looked. Anyway, he just looked bad. And then they had Craig Anderson, and Craig Anderson looked like he played good in the playoffs and everything, but like, I don't know, he played good in the playoffs. He didn't see much in the regular season. We'll see how he does. I think he'll end up being the starter for sure. But they don't have very good goaltending. At number 30, I have the Philadelphia Flyers. So Philadelphia's main problem last season was Carter Hart wasn't playing good. But when he wasn't playing good, because you can't blame him, he's still really young. So when he's not playing good, who do you put in? Well, at first, it was Brian Elliott. And Brian Elliott, he's not that guy. I don't think, not as good of a guy as you'd want to be starting when your young goalie's not playing good. Well, this year, they fixed that problem by bringing in Martin Jones. Well, they brought in Martin Jones, the most consistently bad goalie. I'm just joking. He's not horrible, but like the last 3 years in a row, he's got an .896 save percentage in 3 years in a row. So that's pretty consistent if you ask me. But no, I just think that their goalie tandem is not good, and they will need to. They're not good. They're gonna leave it this way for sure, but I don't think that that's the way they should have gone. At number 29, I have the Ottawa Senators. So Matt Murray is their starter. I think they overpaid for him for sure, but he came off of a bad year in Pittsburgh, so Ottawa was like, yes, $7 million, please, and then they got him, and then he had another bad year. I think he can bounce back to an extent, but we'll see how this goes. And then their backup is Forsberg, actually, and he played good in the small time he had. Honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised to see Forsberg, take over Murray for that first starting spot. I wouldn't be too surprised about that. Oh, just a sec. Okay. Yeah, Murray, they need a bounce back from him for sure. They need to bounce back from Murray. At number 28, I have my favorite team, the Edmonton Oilers. So, terrible offseason in general. Signed Mike Smith for 2 years. I don't know why, but he's still there. That's fine. But, like, where's Koskinen still there as well? And I just don't like the tandem again. Mike Smith's old. I don't expect him to put up the same numbers that he put up last year with us. Mikko Koskinen, I could see him bouncing back a little bit, but then again, like, I don't know. He's just for a 6'7" goalie, man. He's nothing at all, and it's annoying watching him in net. 4 goals and 4 shots. I remember that game. 4 goals and 4 shots. Anyway, they didn't change anything. I don't have much to say about the Oilers. They're not a great tandem. Okay, now we're getting into the tandems I thought are okay. There were only a few that I thought were not good. So now we're getting into the ones I thought were okay. And in number 27, I have the St. Louis Blues. Binnington is their starter. Husso's their backup. Husso, I don't know if he's that good. He just didn't put up great numbers last year. I don't feel or know if he can really bounce back necessarily. I don't think he is there really bouncing back. I didn't see much of his numbers before, but I know last year he didn't do great. And Binnington's always been like in that 9-10 save area. I'm not sold on Binnington. We'll see how he does this coming season. And we'll see how Husso does this coming season. At number 26, I have the Montreal Canadiens. Everybody knows their starter, Carey Price, and everybody knows their backup, Jake Allen. Now, why do I have him this low? I have him this low because, sure, Carey Price is amazing in the playoffs, fine. But in the regular season, for the last 3 or 4 seasons, he has not been very good. And Jake Allen's a good backup, I think. Jake Allen's a very good backup. But Carey Price has not been a great starter for the last few years in the regular season. Which is why I do have him this low at this area. At number 25, I have the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars right now have Hudobin, who's looking to have a bounce-back season, and Ottinger, still a young rookie. Not really, not a rookie, but young. Ottinger, I feel he will do a little better next year. And Hudobin, he had an off year, looking to bounce back, but like he's at that age where it honestly could just be age that, well, it probably is just his age that's affecting him. I don't know if he actually will because he's getting up there, you know. But I have Dallas here because I don't know, maybe I could have had him higher, but you know what? This is where I put him. So yeah, they're here. At number 24, I have the San Jose Sharks. So the San Jose Sharks dropped Martin Jones. I don't even know who their backup was last year. Who was it? Was it Aaron Dell? No, it wasn't. Man, I don't even know who it was. Anyway, Martin Jones gone. And they brought in Aiden Hill, who I feel is underrated. And they brought in James Reimer, who is probably he just has solid goalie, you know? He's solid. He holds himself. Aiden Hill, I think, is he a starter? I don't know. We'll find out this year for sure. He did good in Arizona last year. He put up solid numbers years prior to that. I don't know if he's a starter, but then again, we'll see. And then you got James Reimer, who's solid. So I just think really, at the end of the day, they have 2 solid goalies. Maybe they're not starter goalies, but they're 2 solid goalies. Yeah. At number 23, I have the Los Angeles Kings. LA has the same one as last year. They have Cal Peterson and Jonathan Quick. Now, Cal Peterson, I feel honestly, I don't know if he's gonna get any better. Maybe he will, but he's good enough. He's good enough. He's there, you know, he's there. And then you got Jonathan Quick, who's declined because he's older. And he has not been as good recently. So, but you know what? I feel like Jonathan Quick can be a good backup for Cal Peterson. It's a solid tandem. And then at number 22, I have Carolina. So, yeah, maybe Carolina, they were pretty, dumb this offseason. You get rid of, your Calder-winning goaltender, who only wanted $3 million. And you get back James Reimer, who you don't even sign. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't James Reimer. It was Jonathan Bernier. Jonathan Bernier, who you don't even sign. And you get back third. And then they bring in Frederick Anderson for $4 million after he had a bad year. He had a bad year, and he got $4 million. So, I guess that worked out for Anderson. And then they signed Ranta, which I don't hate. I don't hate Ranta. Ranta, I think, will bounce back. Frederick Anderson should bounce back as well. But they're depending on one of those 2 goalies to bounce back. And also, both those goalies have had injuries problems in the past. So they need both of them to stay healthy. They need them to bounce back. But we'll see how it goes for Carolina. At number 21, I have the Calgary Flames with starting goalie Markstrom. Backup right now is Vladar, who they picked up from Boston for, I don't know, I think it was a third. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it was a third. Markstrom, he needs to bounce back this year. He's just like, he did good in Vancouver, came to Calgary, didn't do great. 904, that's not great. He just didn't do great, and now he needs to bounce back. And Vladar, he should be better this year. Maybe he'll be an okay backup. But yeah, they need Markstrom to bounce back for sure. In number 20, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith. So Tristan Jarry, as much as people like to hate on him all the time, last few seasons he's put up solid numbers in that. And Casey DeSmith played pretty well last season. So as long as you got one of those two guys going, really, then you're good. As bad as Jarry played in the playoffs, that was terrible. But, you got to get, one of those two guys going. But, yeah, Pittsburgh, they're okay. They're fine. At number, is this 19 now? I think so. 19, I have Washington. Washington has Samsonov as a starter and Vanacek is the backup. Samsonov obviously had a down year. He was also injured for most of it, so there's not much to take from that. I think he will bounce back. He's still young. And Vanacek's also young. When Samsonov got hurt, Vanacek came in and he really played well. Enough. Got a 908. Played fine. Started off good, and I think he dropped off. I'm not sure, but anyway. Ended up playing fine. And, they got two good young goalies. So, yeah. And now that I think of it, maybe I should have had them ahead of this next team, which at 18 is Columbus. So I have Columbus here because I'm looking and I'm like, man, Merzlikins is actually he's a good starter. He's a good starter. And that's really what pushed Columbus ahead, I think, for me, was Merzlikins has been in Columbus. They weren't good last year. He still put up solid numbers. The year before, he put up good numbers. And, Korpisalo, I think he's, at this point in his career, he's a good backup goalie. That's what he is. He is a backup goalie. He's a goalie that you play. Well, we all know what a backup goalie is. And then, so really that's it. Merzlikins, I think, has got them 18 on my list. Number 17, I have Vegas. Vegas, after giving away their Vezina goalie for nothing, still has what I see as an okay goalie tandem. Robin Leonard, criticized way too much than he should be, I feel. Still is a good goalie. And then in the backup position, you've got Laurent Brossoit, who they picked up. And I feel he could be a good goalie as well. And I like Laurent Brossoit as well. I like Brossoit. So I might be overrating him, but I think he's a good goalie. I think he could maybe take over the starting position. I don't know. I might be going off a little bit, but I just like him. Number 16, I have the Anaheim Ducks. John Gibson. Down year last year? Sure. Still a very good goalie in my eyes. And Stolars, he's put up good numbers in the minors, put up good numbers in a short time in the NHL, so we'll see how that goes. I feel like he should be good. And Gibson, I think he'll bounce back a little bit. Not necessarily saying he'll put up great numbers, as most goalies probably wouldn't when you're playing in Anaheim. And yeah. Number 15, I have Minnesota Wild. So Minnesota has the same one as last year. Cam Talbot and Kaapo Kähkönen. Cam Talbot played very well for Minnesota last year. When they first signed that contract for Talbot, I was a little bit hesitant. Like, I thought that it might have been overpaid and maybe too long, especially for how old he is. But hey, the first year worked out, and I wouldn't be surprised if the second year did too. And they got Capo Kakinen, started off very well, slowed down, dipped down. But I think he will play good this year, just like he did last year for the most part. And I feel they have a solid tandem. Solid tandem. Every team from here, I think, good goalie tandem. Number 14, I have the Colorado Avalanche. So Colorado, obviously they lost Grubauer, Vezina finalist. That hurt. But they ended up getting Kemper. Now, Kemper's not Grubauer, but he's a good starter. Kemper had an off year last year. I still think he's a good goalie. I still think he'll reach what he did last year. And Francouz, I think he'll be back. I'm gonna assume for this video, I'm assuming Francouz will be back, and I'm gonna say that Francouz is a good goalie as well. Now, this whole video is me saying that every goalie's good, but hey, most goalies in the NHL will be good. And when you have two good goalies, like the rest of these teams on this list, you will be at the top. So yeah. Number 13, I have the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey has Jonathan Bernier, who they acquired this year. And I don't think it was for too much money, but I think that's a good contract. And they also have Blackwood, who's looking to bounce back. Jonathan Bernier put up very solid numbers in the horrible Detroit team for 2 years. And now he's going to New Jersey, who's also not a great team. Probably got better, though. You know, some moves they made this offseason are pretty good. Might have overpaid Tatar a little bit, but we'll see. And then you got Blackwood, who needs to bounce back. He's still a young goaltender. He definitely could. There's no question about it. So we'll see how they do. Number 12, I have Winnipeg. So Winnipeg has a problem right now. They would have been higher on this list. But their starter, Connor Hellebuck, great. Amazing goalie. But their backup, they don't really have a good backup. They lost Brossoit, and now they haven't re-signed anyone to replace him. And as of right now, there's still a lot of offseason left. They still probably will. Right now, on Cap Friendly, it says their backup's Eric Comrie. I looked at his numbers. He put up good numbers in the minors, put up okay numbers in the NHL, but I don't really know what to expect from him. You haven't seen a lot of him. So I just put him at 12 because I feel that Connor Hellebuck just carried them to this position. Number 11, I have Nashville. I don't know. I don't hear a lot of people talking about, like, when you talk about great goaltenders in the NHL, I personally don't hear a lot of talk about UC Saros. He has been very good for the last few years. Very good. This year he was amazing. And then now they bring in Riddick, who is a backup goalie for sure, but he is a fine backup goaltender. He'll work for a backup goalie as long as Saros doesn't get hurt. But Saros is a great goalie. And yeah, that's just it. Saros, great goalie. Number 9. Where am I? 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Number 10, I have Vancouver. So Vancouver obviously has Thatcher Demko. Young-ish. He's like 26 now, I think, or 25. Demko puts up solid numbers every year. Not much to say about Demko. Then they bring in Halak, who apparently their goalie coach wanted, is what I've heard. And Halak, he needs to bounce back this year. It's the same thing with Hudobin, though. It's like, he's really old, so can he do it? Is it just age affecting him? But it doesn't even matter because, this is already an upgrade from Holtby. Holtby was just rough last year. Holtby did not play very good at all. And he didn't play good in Washington, and I don't think he'll play good in Dallas. And I'm assuming that he's not, even though I think he will. So maybe they'll send Ottinger down, but I'm assuming Ottinger stays up. If for Dallas, I said that Ottinger was going to be sent down and hope he would play, that honestly would have knocked him down quite a bit. Probably to 28 area. So, yeah. You're welcome, Dallas fans. At 9th, I have Florida. So Florida has the most overpaid goalie in the league, yes. But he's still okay sometimes. He put up better numbers this last season than he did prior to that season, or prior to the season, like the season before that season. Anyway, this season I'm expecting him to get a little bit better. Obviously, he might not, but I'm expecting him to just go up a little bit. Maybe hit like 9-10 save percentage, somewhere in that area. And then Spencer Knight's coming in, and I feel like Spencer Knight will be very good. I think he'll split the starts with Bobrovsky, like a 1A, 1B situation. Because obviously you don't want to run your young goalie to the ground. Carter, sorry. Just had to get that out there. But yeah. At number 8, I have Toronto. So they actually brought in Mrazek for what I think was a good deal. And they got Campbell and Mrazek now. So Jack Campbell went on a great run, put up great numbers in Toronto. I think they might dip a little bit. Not a lot, maybe just a little bit. But here's the thing, he played well in LA before he went to Toronto as well. Like in LA, he was more in a backup role, but still, his numbers were great. Came to Toronto, played as the starter when Anderson got hurt, I think. And then he really just, swept that position from Anderson as soon as he started. Like that 11-game win streak or whatever. And even in the playoffs, they lost, but Anderson, he played fine. And then at Mrazek. Mrazek is a solid goalie. I don't have much to say. He's solid. Put up good numbers this year in the limited games. Obviously, I think he got hurt, but Mrazek I don't know. Number 7, I have the Rangers. The New York Rangers have Shesterkin, a good young goalie. Started off rough and then really started playing really good on the second half of that season. Knocked his save percentage all the way to a .916. Think it'll go up this year. And then they got Gorgiev as a backup. I think he's a good goalie as well. So they really just got 2 good young goalies in that. It's like Washington, but better. And number 6, I have the Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins lost Tuukka Rask this year, but they got Allmark, and I like Allmark. I like the contract. Allmark put up good numbers on a Buffalo Sabres team that was incredibly bad. If you saw who was playing last year, not Lukonen, it was Hutton. Hutton, I think. When Hutton played, I believe it was him. Their record was horrible. I think Allmark was hurt during most of that 18-game losing streak. But when Allmark played, I believe he had a winning record, actually, on Buffalo. Not a lot. I think it was, 10-8 and something, or 9-6. I don't know. But he won, more games than he lost on Buffalo with good numbers. That's surprising and impressive. And then you got Jeremy Swayman, who played fantastic in his first few games in the NHL. 10 games, .945 save percentage. That's insane. And I do not expect him to hold that .945 save percentage, obviously. But I could see him getting very high numbers as well, and I just feel that this is a good goalie tandem. Another 1A, 1B situation, maybe. In number 5, I have the Detroit Red Wings. So, they came up a lot. Detroit obviously get Nedeljkovic in a steal of a trade. Good job to Stevie Y, Nedeljkovic for nothing. And then you got Grice, who I also think is good. This is a good tandem. Nedeljkovic, even if Nedeljkovic gets hurt, you still got Grice. And Grice is fine. He's good. This is good here. They've got a good thing going on. They got the Calder Trophy winner. No, wait, he didn't win the Calder Trophy. No, he was in the finals for the Calder Trophy. But yeah. So anyway, Detroit at 5. In 4, I have Tampa Bay. And here's the thing. This is a one-man band. One man carried them to 4, and it's Andrei Vasilevsky. See, I could look at Detroit, and it was close. It was close. I didn't know who to have over what. I ended up putting Tampa over Detroit. Strictly because Andrei Vasilevsky. And Brian Elliott, yeah, he's not great, but doesn't need to be when you have Andrei Vasilevsky. And I feel he's a good backup. He's not. He's an okay backup. He's just a backup goalie. Is he better than McElhenney? I think so, but doesn't matter. Vasilevsky got him to fourth. In number three, I have Chicago. Also got a good goalie for nothing. Fleury for what? Nothing. I mean, yeah, he's old, but he still won the Vezina last year. So, yeah, and now you got Lankinen, who was good last year on backup, who was their starter. So now I could see, I think Fleury will take most of the starts, but maybe it'll be a 1A, 1B situation here with those two goalies. But it's just great. Chicago, I don't know if they will make the playoffs this year. The Central Division looks good. Well, and by good, I mean it's not the Pacific Division. And as an Oilers fan, I'm grateful for that. But Chicago, they just, they got good goalies now. They got the Vezina winner. They got a good young Kevin Lankinen. In second, though, I have the New York Islanders with Varlamov, who played amazing last year. Played amazing and has played amazing for the last few years in New York Island and Islanderland and New York land, whatever. And then you got Sorokin, your young goalie, who played great last year as well. Put up a .918, I believe. .918 save percentage. And he played good. And you just got these, two studs in that, you know? You got these two great goalies. You got, I don't know. You just got them. You got them. You got Varlamov. And, yeah. And in the number one spot, I have the Seattle Kraken. And it's just, it's not because they're a new team that I'm like, oh, I gotta get them higher. No. I think they have the best goalie tandem in the league, obviously, as I have them at number one. They got Philip Grubauer, and he was a Vezina finalist last year. Has put up very good numbers for the last few years. And then you get Chris Driedger, who's, your backup? The guy who put up amazing numbers, nothing but amazing numbers in Florida over the last few years. I don't know what to say. They just got two great goalies. And I could see one starting and the other starting. Probably be Grubauer starting, but you never know. But if one of them gets hurt, there's no big problem. You got two studs. You got two studs here. And I think that is the best tandem in the league. Which will finish off this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'm going to be trying to post more. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. If you have any other ideas and you made it to this point, then please comment them. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.